Welcome to Exotel's walkthrough on getting started with Voip calling. By end of this video, we will learn how to set up your business phone system over IP and test inbound and outbound calls on a soft phone. Let's achieve this in 3 simple steps. Feel free to skip in between to the timestamps mentioned. In the first step, let's learn how to set up SIP username and password on Exotel. In the second step, let's learn how to download and set up a soft phone. We will be setting up LIN phone in this demo. In the third step, let's test inbound and outbound calls on your soft phone. Let's begin with setting up SIP username on Exotel. In order to make or receive VoIP calls, I need a SIP username. I'll get my SIP username by heading to coworkers and group section and switch my device type to SIP. And I now have my SIP username generated here. The status of my SIP ID now shows unverified. In order to verify the SIP username, I'll go to Voip settings page and set up a password here. The same password will be used to log in on your Voip soft phone. If I now go back to my coworkers and groups page, the unverified status changes to off. In order to make the coworker status on, I need to log into a soft phone with the username and password I just generated. Let's now download and set up a soft phone client. For this walkthrough, I will use LIN phone as my soft phone client, which is free to use. You can install LIN phone soft phone across all the supported platforms, and I will download the Windows app. Once the setup is complete, open the LIN phone soft phone app and go to the preferences in the settings menu to connect your SIP username. Click Add Account. These fields are to be filled with the details present in your VoIP settings page on Exotel. I will now go to VoIP settings page. Let me show you the 3 changes to be made by comparing the form here to the VoIP settings page in Exotel. In the first field, SIP address, replace the question mark with your VoIP username on your VoIP settings page. Replace sip.linephone.org after the @ with VoIP domain address on your settings page. In the second field, SIP server address, replace sip.linephone.org with VoIP proxy address on your settings page. I've made the same changes to my first 2 fields. I will not make any changes to my next 2 fields and remove the contact params field and increase the RTCP interval to 5. I am turning all the toggles off except the register toggle and click confirm. I now have successfully connected my SIP username to a soft phone. In this last step, let's now log into the soft phone client and test outbound and inbound calls. When I open the LIN phone app, it asks me to enter a password for the SIP account I just connected. I'll keep the user field empty and enter the same password I just set up on my VoIP settings page on Exotel. Once I log into my soft phone, the agent status in coworkers and groups changes to on. This means that I'm logged into my soft phone and I'm ready to make outbound or receive inbound calls. To make an outbound call, I'll click on the call button on the top left and enter my phone number to connect. As soon as I do it, Exotel lands a call on the soft phone first, as you can see an incoming call pop up in the corner. And when I pick up the call, Exotel dials the customer number. Yep, my phone's ringing. I'll hang up the call now. Before we test inbound calls, let's make sure the SIP agent is present in the sales group, which is connected to my default incoming call flow. I can always change the groups who receive calls in my app store present in the settings panel. I will go to the virtual number section. From my mobile phone, I will now call the sandbox number and enter the PIN after the call connects. Remember, this sandbox number is for testing purposes only. As soon as I enter the PIN, an incoming call pop-up appears through which I can receive the call. Both the parties of the call are now connected. I will now disconnect the call. I can now go to my inbox to find all the call details and recordings. This completes the walkthrough. Thank you.